There are only 3 inescapable truths in this world. Everyone dies, Half-Life 3 is never gonna happen, and every franchise gets a kart racer. Released in 2004 exclusively for the Game Boy Advance, Digimon Racing is exactly what you think it is. A battle kart racer where you go head to head against rival Digimon as you swerve, jump, and shoot power-ups at each other, all across glorious Mode 7 tracks, all to claim that coveted first place cup. If you've ever played Super Mario Kart, well, what you're imagining probably isn't too far off. However, like any game that borrows from a popular formula, it really just comes down to what they added, or didn't add, that ends up making or breaking the game. Hey Digidestined, it's me, Spammer D, and let's find out what this game did. And to Digimon Racing's credit, it starts off strong, right out the gate, offering up 4-player racing via link cable, but also utilizing the wireless adapter, which many of you might recognize as a pack-in with Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And let's not beat around the bush here. Racing against your buddies is the way to go, especially with older titles like this. Though while all the courses are immediately available in multiplayer, all of the Digimon are not, and I doubt that many longtime Digimon fans will be all too surprised to see who isn't gated off.
Agumon! Gabumon!
Palmon! Paddlemon! Pencilmon! Eomon! Lullamon! Goemon!
Surprise, surprise, it's the OG 8 from Digimon 01. But 02, 03, and 04 do get a little bit of love, as they are prizes for completing the campaign, time trials, and quick races.
Eomon!
Digimon!
Agunimon!
Though, way to tease the 03 fans by making Goemon the cover character, am I right? I bet Renamon fans are seething. Also, I didn't edit those voiceovers into the roll call, they are indeed in the game, and they sound great, with a number of them probably being cut straight from the show. A nice little highlight to be sure, and it's not just limited to the names either, for better or worse.
Web record. Connection terminated.
Thanks, Omnimon! Or Omegamon. Look, just die. Alright. Joking aside, it's not that bad. The sound overall is pretty solid. Nothing particularly memorable, but it's got some nice fast-paced tunes that are right at home for a fun-filled race. And visually, the game is pretty impressive too. The Digimon themselves all look great and are easily identifiable. And just look at these victory lap models. Again, this is the GBA. And of course, the stages themselves all look visually impressive, spanning a lot of different locales, including mines, deserts, swamps, and under the sea. But as a Nintendo kid, I have no qualms with telling you that, despite how charming Mode 7 can be, it hasn't exactly aged all that well, with it being genuinely difficult to see upcoming turns and obstacles at times, especially on the more heavily detailed stages, and doubly so for the levels with the animated backgrounds. Don't those arches just make you think you need to keep going straight? Though, I think the devs realized that too, which is why they included the trusty Digivice above you to point out the hard to see turns. Also, keep in mind, we're looking at this on the big screen. Imagine this on a non-backlit GBA screen. Though I actually think that kind of works better on the small screen, where the break in the details isn't so defined. Kinda like that teleporting diabolical earache. But you probably already noticed that he doesn't quite look like a racer, now does he? Well, he's not. But if you want to take a crack at him, you gotta get some gold first. Pulling up to the starting line, you probably won't be too shocked to find that the main races are pretty standard for a kart racer, with multiple courses themed around different areas containing a lot of the genre's common tropes, like speed boosts and item boxes. Though they are populated with Digimon acting as extra obstacles, and man, can some of them be cheap. But at the same time, they add variety, so I'm glad they're there. The controls are also pretty simple and straightforward too. You have accelerate and brake on the face buttons, shoot on the left trigger, and jump on the right. And man, what a jump that is too. Mario needed a feather to get that kind of height. Though it's not as useful as you might think. Those flat walls, they aren't so flat. Trust me, we tried. No, but what we really want to focus on is the meter on the left. Digimon Racing's main gimmick, Digivolution, which is crucial if you want to stand any chance at winning. At the start of every race, you begin in your rookie form, with one of your objectives being to fill the gauge so you can Digivolve. And if you max out that meter, you also get your special attack, which is unique to each mon. And no, you can't reach Ultimate or Mega, but you can drop down to in training. And this is where things get interesting. Every time you bump into something or someone, your meter drops. Getting hit by an attack also depletes your meter, which includes getting Mario. Now, this is expected. It's just like in the show. When your Digimon takes a major hit, they change back to the previous forms. What's unexpected is that your meter also drops when you use an attack. So while you may have access to multiple attacks or item boxes, do you really want to use them? Especially since everything other than the special is pretty generic. Homing, straight shot, speed boost, you get the idea. Plus, unlike in Mario Kart, there really isn't that much rubber banding here. Getting hit, or just having the entire AI wail on you, still won't put you that far behind that you need items to catch back up. Skill has a bit more impact here. Plus, if you're already a champion, wouldn't it just be better to plow through the rookies that devolved from using their power-ups instead of wasting an attack? Because when you're a rookie, you are easy pickings, getting knocked around left and right. And if you get smacked all the way back to in training, well, you're kinda screwed, as the lower forms are just too slow. So, with that in mind, it begs the question, how do you Digivolve? Well, basically, all you gotta do is drive over these black patches in the road. The longer you're on them, the more your meter charges. Simple. Except, it's kinda not. While there are courses out there with patches on straightaways, a lot of them are also much smaller patches on outside turns. And I know what all you Mario Kart vets are thinking. Hit that turn at top speed and drift right through it without ever missing a beat. Yeah. There's no power sliding in this game. Now, that's no deal breaker, and it's not like classic Mario Kart had it either, but man, it can be hard to go back sometimes. And with some of these corners, it's just begging for it. Probably the game's biggest shortcoming, as it drags down a lot of the game's momentum. I mean, who actually wants to slow down at turns?
Officer, you don't understand. I'm Digi-destined.
Please step out of the car, sir. Whew, that was a close one. I just managed to squeak by with a little bit of community service. Just gotta put down a few lame bosses. Yeah, remember Dioboromon? Or Diablomon? Just pick which one you want. Well, this racer has bosses, but ironically, they are super easy. Like, way easier than trying to get first place in the actual races. Basically, Omnimon, Diaboromon, and Malomyotismon just take pop shots at you and you have to hit them when they tire out. Hit them 3 times and you win. And you can't really die either. The only threat is the clock. But since I told you how to take them out, well, really shouldn't be much of an issue. Plus, you get infinite tries. So yeah, kinda made you wait for a pretty lame reveal. Sorry about that. But still, I do appreciate Digimon Racing trying to mix up the formula a bit with bosses and Digivolving. Combine that with some surprisingly good visuals, great sound effects, and 4-player compatibility, what you're left with is a pretty solid kart racer of the era. And while I wouldn't put it above the gold standard that is Super Mario Kart, it's certainly a bit rougher around the edges. But if you like classic Mode 7 style racing, or just a huge fan of Digimon, then Digimon Racing is worth checking out.